And here we are, losers semi-finals. It is Atomic. It is Frostbyte. It is 0-0. We will fix the overlay in a quick second. It is Rob, and for the first time, it is Roy.
Yeah, Frostbyte getting on here now. Gonna have to flip those up. No worries there. Still game one. We got the time. And
we've seen Atomic. You know he's Rob.
Yeah,
that's
the side B there. From oh no! The devastation in the beginning. Such a great start for Frostbyte, and then literally just air dodges themselves off the stage. And Roy, you just don't have the recovery, not to mention the down air from Atomic to really bring that stock through. And
this is the loser's game. These mistakes, man, they might come back in the end.
They will 100% add up.
Especially after you put on a Virtuoso 10 seconds before that.
Yeah.
Two sides of the coin there.
From what I can tell, not much. At least, shout out to the Smashers app that T.O. Blue put me onto. Has all the info you could ever ask for, stats, and it's super quick, very well made. So shout out to that. But I'm having a tough time actually finding sets between these two. At least offline.
There's a chance they may not have had an official match or anything either.
Yeah. Atomic, though, does have, I believe it's around a 50-60% win rate up against Roy players.
Okay.
So
even or slightly better depending on the player?
Yeah, really does depend. And yeah, when you see someone in the 50 to 60% range, it's like, okay, it might be a 54% win rate up against that character.
And that's usually a player diff, not necessarily the matchup. Yeah, you're good in the matchup, but it's how skilled the player is piloting the character. So far, though, for Atomic, after that little bit of an oopsie by Frostbyte, he has taken full advantage and tried to push the pace as best as he knows how to. And we have seen a pace get put on people all weekend long, not even just in the singles bracket. Doubles, the Commissioner's Cup, everything in between. Atomic has been on one for the last 4 or 5 days, and Frostbyte has a lot of work to do to get back in this one.
Yeah, especially just after that first stock, it really was devastation. I think regardless of where this first game goes, I mean, it's tough for Frostbyte to bring themselves back in here. Not impossible, especially with Roy, but there it is. Same kind of thing that Atomic's been doing all day. Hop off the ledge, just a little short hop, and the fair. And sometimes that is all you need to bring the kill through. And yeah, double-checked through the head-to-heads once again. Don't think these players actually have an offline history together, at least that's been recorded and tracked on some of these apps and databases here. So we're kind of working with what we got. Although Frostbyte in general, sets all time, just overall, has an 81% win rate, just in tournament, which is wild to see.
I don't care who you're playing against either. If you're winning 8 out of 10 games, I mean, you only can play who's in front of you, right? You got to play who you're set up with in the bracket, who you get seated against. So
Atomic is up there at 75. So don't get me wrong, both of these players very, very strong. And of course, when you're entering a ton of tournaments, you will have a ton of sets in pools and things like that, where you are just going to be, if you're a player of this caliber, you're going to be 2-0 and things like that, making it through pools with relative ease, so a lot of that will boost those numbers for sure.
We are seeing Frostbyte off to another good start, though. I mean, should have taken the first stock last game. It was downright criminal, and it was criminal to himself that he let that happen, but
and now this is what Frostbyte wanted to see last game. Although Atomic, yeah, that's it. We're going to see, it's very similar to that matchup up against Cloud, up against Anthony Isn't Cool, where Atomic, if you can get the Roy off stage and just start tossing him off, you'll be able to just play at the ledge exactly like that, and you won't need high percentage to find these kills. Just fantastic ledge guarding and well-placed forward airs for the most part.
2-2, percentage racking up on Atomic. He's still holding on to the 1-0 lead in the series at least, though. Obviously, it is loser, so the loser is donezo for the weekend. The May Madness experience will be coming to an abrupt halt. And you can kind of tell the patience starting to get a little bit better now out of both players, not really willing to take that extra chance or maybe open up that window to punish. Basically dead even across the board every which way.
Yeah, surprised that Atomic brought it back in this manner, but also when you can play off the ledge like that, get stocks without having to use too much resources and actually get super high percentage on the opponent. Once again, just the tiny little hits will gimp the Roy because the up B is just so short.
Yeah, and it really does suck to see Frostbyte play so good for so long, and then something like that just seems to happen time and time again. And give credit to Atomic, obviously making it happen and forcing the issue onto Frostbyte, but the fact that he keeps getting away with it, definitely got to be a little bit annoying for Frostbyte, especially after how the game one started and then finished as well. And now you find yourself basically in the same spot. You've got 65%, but at least it's a little bit closer than game one was at the end.
Yeah, very true there. Still in Atomic's favor, but Frostbyte, right? You get these strings starting to go together.
It's a Roy.
Nair will lead into, I think you can do a second Nair, but also just the tipper forward airs there, where the tipper on Roy is actually going to be the light hit, of course, having the hilt as the sweet spot there. So less, I guess, complex spacing or technical spacing with Roy, a lot more. If I want
the face,
the harder part is actually hitting the tippers with Roy, so you can get like the soft hits to be able to extend combos, right? When you're trying to get the hard hits, you just want to be close to the opponent.
Yeah, basically 100 right now. Nothing standing between these two players in terms of
jab
stocks or percentage.
So
Frostbytes.
There's jab back air. You get the raw back air, and it's a good kill confirm on the Roy. It was just too far away that time. Maybe above percentage for that now. Oh, did read the roll, but was just too early on it. Frostbyte
Alive.
starting to be read by Atomic.
Listen, he wins this game. All the problems
That's
go
a
away.
kill.
Oh!
And that will do it. Atomic with the second game of the series. Frostbyte, though, hanging in by a thread. They are there, and they are so close to finding that game, but Atomic just cleans it up every time.
It seems like there's one mistake or one big play that decides both of those games.
When it comes down to it, it just seems like Atomic is in Frostbyte's head in those final stocks. You saw it right there. If Atomic held the charge on that up smash for maybe another second, half a second right there, it would have been lights out. And, I mean, getting red like that as well to bring yourself to match point, reverse sweep point at that time for Frostbyte. I mean, it's not good for the mental there, but reverse sweep going to be the only opportunity for Frostbyte to stay in tournament here.
Yeah, it would be a hell of a story if they were to make it through this and then end up in the grand final somehow, some way, and at least getting some of that damage back that Atomic was laying on early in the fray. And getting it back in spades, matter of fact. Good answer by Frostbyte. Laser will connect for Atomic as well, trying to keep that chip damage continuously piling up. Or eventually, we know Atomic will and can go in for the kill.
Frostbyte, though, keeping good control now of the stage. Forcing Atomic to go high on the recovery there, and now trying to keep a juggle going. Only the one up air will actually end up hitting. Gyro, ever present in this game as well from the Rob. I'm surprised that doesn't kill, but I think just too far to the right of the stage. Trying to get that perfect timing so that they can snap the ledge, but a forward tilt from Roy will kill very easily with that close spacing and the 140+%. First stock goes over to Frostbyte, but now you're off stage up against Atomic. Gyro does hit, constantly leaving that one at the ledge, and the roll is red once again, this time from the ledge, and this time the up smash is perfectly on point for that.
Yeah, now the game to a slightly more even state after the stock trade, the percentage favoring Frostbyte at least for the moment, but Atomic getting their hits in around that center stage area. Frostbyte going to go try to take Atomic off to the left. But Atomic able to up B and reset back towards center. And if you're Frostbyte, you have got to make sure you stay locked in all the way through the finish line. You got to worry about just this game and then worry about the other two after you get through this one, because we've seen he's played extremely well in the other two games, but then something bad happens at some point that seems to ruin the entire night.
Yeah, something like those up airs would do it, or even just a gyro, and the up B just not going far enough. 131%. We'll see a throw there to toss Atomic off stage. Uh-oh. Luckily for Frostbyte, the punish is not too heavy from Atomic. He gets to keep ledge control for the time being. It's to center stage. I think we might be out of jab back air range now, so you're looking for some kind of stray forward air or tilt, and at the ledge, that'll definitely hit. So make a mental note of that. You're never out of jab back air range.
Yeah, and it was a good job by Frostbyte, too. Only took about 33% and then eventually got the stock, so not the end of the world as far as that was concerned. Just got to make sure Atomic
there it is. Double nair into Spike. If it was any other character, man, that would be a lot more concerning, but low percent on the Rob means you're getting back to ledge quite easily.
Frostbyte's entire tournament comes down to this stock. One mistake amplified will potentially end the weekend, end the run in the tournament, and crush the hopes in the singles bracket. Atomic would love to make up for lost time earlier after the Commissioner's Cup heartbreak, and we are at 110 plus apiece.
Now almost dead even. 114, 118. Grab comes through from Frostbyte. Atomic, one hit to bring yourself to losers finals. With Tilde waiting. Needs to get off this ledge without getting punished for it. Look at that, the full charge laser. Both players very cautious as to what could follow. Up air at the ledge, just trying to see if they could maybe catch Frostbyte getting a little too close. Every whiffed move makes me hold my breath. This could be it. Wants to get back. That should be the punish. It will be Frostbyte. Guess who's still in the series? 2-1 now, and a nail-biting finish at the end. At side B, though, you shield it, man. That is not safe as the Rob.
Spin to lose.
That's not safe, my guy. Anyways, double laser from the ledge.
Laser.
Laser.
Let's see if Atomic can get their lick back in game 4. Frostbyte, truthfully, definitely played good enough to at least have one win. Can argue they maybe should have taken one of these other games. They played extremely well earlier on, but you at least get that one game under your belt. The 0 is off the board. Now you can just focus up, work on those adjustments, those reads that you were cooking, and hopefully get off to a nice early lead so you can start to play from ahead instead of behind.
Nice. For Atomic, sitting at the ledge and constantly setting up that gyro too. We've seen that a few times now where Frostbyte has to use the get-up attack just to get the gyro out of the way. Something maybe Atomic could start punishing there if he sees that opportunity. This time though, that will kill. Scoop him up into the blender. Spin to win from that Rob. Atomic now up 1, but Frostbyte looking to take this back and without getting punished too much.
Yeah, at least so far, still have to navigate these projectiles and eventually get inside of the pocket to really start to lay that damage onto Atomic. Nice parry, and then the follow-up. Good for the kill. A snap execute there. Frostbyte evens it up.
Here you go. Hop off stage, and we know off stage can be a little bit dangerous for this Roy, but when you're the one on the aggression side of things, oh man, those spikes keep hitting, but it's just the fact that it's a Rob. Phantom Blade on stage puts him into a little juggle situation there. But Atomic, this gyro is shutting down Frostbyte when they try to jump in, and it lets Atomic just run back to center stage. Toss Atomic back, or toss Frostbyte back to wherever they want. Look at the follow-up there. Up smash to grab the second stock for Atomic. One more stock. Frostbyte still needs to take down this one. Up to 105% though.
Yeah, but Atomic is kind of getting cooking once more. Frostbyte, this is kind of the same situation that every other time. Frostbyte was able to find the quick kill.
It's out of range.
Both of them just trying to poke at each other without really committing and wanting to risk any exposure, but Frostbyte, that damage is slowly building up for him. Atomic is more than happy at this point. You have gotten more than extra credit. You might even get the win.
Yeah, I don't think that'll find the kill, though. Just too low percent. But a lot of rage now on Atomic, which means earlier percentage kills here, slightly. Tip attack. Not going to be punished by the Roy just yet. That forward throw. I'm trying to remember if Roy's up throw is similar to Lucina's in that it will be a kill throw. But at the ledge, it seems like they're just opting for the forward throw. Get Atomic off of there, and yes, the up throw will be pretty similar to that. And
finally.
Up there, we'll find that now, though, 90% on Frostbyte, 100. It keeps stacking up. Just wants to play the ledge. If you're able to actually spend more time, I was going to say with the gyro, but forget about it. Up there. You know, they found a few earlier, Atomic did, but there, 100+%. That will be the kill. Frostbyte in 3-1 fashion will go out of the tournament today. 3 players left in the bracket. Atomic, Tilde, and waiting there in the grand finals, Mr. E on winner's side. Immediately swapping out right here. We are going to keep this moving. Tilde just went back up to stage, and we are going to have, I'm trying to remember if it's a rematch between these two.
We're not going to be here for last call tonight.
Yeah, I know.
We were the last ones on the floor in the entire building last year.
Yeah, and yesterday and on Friday, but
seems to be a pattern when we show up here.
Listen, it's called passion, is what it is. Okay,
there is
because
passion.
there is passion, there is aggression in this football club, but not only is it us on the broadcast here, because we can whine and complain all we want, but exactly everybody in the bracket, even if they ended up getting knocked out, they're staying to watch the rest of it.
Yeah.
It is pure passion out here with these, 150 players?
Listen, it's our online friends we
today.
see maybe twice a year, unless you're traveling to locals or actually going and playing and competing all over the country. So everyone come together, compete, have fun with each other, and we'll see Mr. E, Tilde, and Atomic. A very fitting top 3.
Yeah,
might
honestly.
Three that were in the championship match earlier.
And, of course, Atomic, coming from UTA, was a shining light on that team in the crew battles.
He had us sweating. We're from Fisher, and he had us sweating.
Well, clearly we're from Fisher.
Good point.
So here, losers finals. We've begun 2 more sets, or I guess possibly 3 more sets if a reset comes through.
After Friday, we shouldn't speak too early.
Yeah, never should there.
Especially with Mr. E and Atomic involved.
Atomic versus Tilde here. Slow start to this one. Neither player's really chaining together multiple moves. Now Tilde starts to get
in the feet wet a bit.
Oh, look at that. That's crazy. Still finds that down tilt at the ledge after the drag down fair. Keep the loop going for just 1 more sequence there.
Yeah, and I'm honestly expecting these last couple games to start a little bit slower. I think everybody knows, everyone's played against each other in this top 3. They know how talented, how skilled, and how prepared they are for each one of these matchups. So you want to make sure you at least make a few reads in the early game. Don't give away any free stocks. Don't make any critical mistakes. And have confidence in yourself to play out the rest of the series and see what you can get cooking.
I'm laughing. I see Gordon Ramsay in the corner. My eye had an F1 race. I don't know why that makes me laugh so much, but Atomic early one and was down in percentage by a wide margin, around 40-50%. Instant answer from Tilde to turn this into a 2-stock game.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a knockdown, a drag out, absolute slug fest. Atomic was on the early engage, but Tilde obviously finding the answer back basically within 2 seconds. And now it's Tilde putting in some work on the side of the stage, zoning off Atomic best of their ability. Try to keep him guessing. Maybe pull up the shield there.
Spending a little bit too much time on the ledge. We've seen him do it before where they'll let the invincibility run out and then use one of the get-up options while Tilde actually tries to throw out an attack. But there are those down tilts. You kind of just spam them through. They are quite fast for how impactful the move can be.
Yeah, and Tilde's playing phenomenally right now. Almost a full stock lead after the dust settles. Atomic's got to try to put some work in and get this answer very, very quickly. Otherwise, Tilde might be able to string together those combos or maybe trap Atomic on one of the ledges again and really put him in the box.
That's not going to kill just yet, but Tilde in the blender and tied up once again. Extra credit being around 29%. Tilde wants to get this started. He's waited. One thing Tilde hasn't been doing this game is what we've seen all tournament is starts this killer combo there, but then drags down with the Nair and gets the regrab. Haven't seen that much in this game. He just hasn't had the opportunity for it.
98% on Atomic. Not looking super, super healthy, but it is Rob, it is Atomic. There's always a way back into the game. String together a few nice combos, get Tilde on the back foot, and you can really separate yourself, but Tilde is not going to let it go down that easily. The answers have been good, they have been efficient, they have been fast. With only one stock left to decide this game one. Both players very, very cautious, but also trying to mix in that aggression.
And Atomic was down like this in first stock and was able to just throw out a back air. Find a kill before. Up throw will do a good chunk of damage and put Tilde quite high in the air, but that up air not going to land. Tilde back on the ground. Now, oh, the dunk! Kind of trades things back a little bit. Drag down with the fair. Can't really follow up, though. 160% now. Atomic out of range for a lot of these confirms from the Falco.
160 to 130 after Tilde will try to recover back onto the stage. The up B is going to connect onto Atomic, trying to flip the ledge there.
This is down to the wire.
Yeah, both of these players have got to be sweating something serious because every single game just means that much. And we saw these guys playing against each other on stage earlier.
Oh! Reflects the neutral B 185% and popped right into the hit there. Tilde takes the first one. Every single game in these past few series has been edge of your seat.
Yes.
What's going to happen? Who's going to take it? Absolute, not only just close games, but long games as well. The hits going back and forth, and granted, you get this deep into the bracket, players start playing much more cautious, smart, aware, we'll say. It's not just, all right, I feel like I'm better than this player.
Yeah, you know the punishment will be tenfold as it would to a lower tier player.
Yeah, exactly. And with that, we're seeing these games start to get down to 2 minutes, a minute 45 on the clock in the end. And can't forget, just stock for stock, almost every game in these past few sets.
Yeah, basically all the way through, even if the series scores weren't necessarily 3-2s.
Literally, other than Mr. E Tilde, that's just an insanely Mr. E-sided matchup from the looks of it, and the stats agree with that sentiment.
Perfect for stock.
And with Tilde being up 1-0, could be possible to have a little rematch, a little run back there in the grand finals. But Tilde would, regardless, loser side, you got to work double as hard to reset that bracket. You do make it to grand finals, but now you got to crown the winner of the losers finals first.
If I'm Tilde and I'm a ruthless individual, I might say, that trophy's going to look good in my cabinet.
Yeah.
Things start going well, you just start throwing little shade, little pop shots there, try to maybe make Atomic a little angry, try to run at you, basically get the charging bull to come sprinting forward.
That would be some crazy mind games on stage. Tilde keeping it even in percentage, but has been a stock up nearly this whole game.
And just playing so clean. The combos are connecting every which part of the stage. Atomic is the one that can't really force the action, can't really play off the projectiles as well because he's fighting for his life in the blast zone every requisite way. And there's another one. Tilde only dropping 84% and up 2 stocks.
I think Tilde might have just heard me saying every single game, stock for stock, and was like, oh yeah, watch this. 3 stock incoming. Atomic has the opportunity to shut that down. You're going to have to work damn hard to bring this game at least back into a winnable situation for yourself.
Well, you got to make it in a playable situation first.
That's a pretty good start.
That is the first step on the road to redemption. Unfortunately, the percentage game will be a very tough one to navigate if you are Atomic, unless you can just absolutely hang it on a Tilde here for an extended
now we're seeing
period
the
of
grabs
time.
start to come through again.
Yeah, and instead Tilde is the one pushing the action forward. 70%, 83 on Atomic's last stock, and Tilde showing no signs of stopping.
Having the reflector available has been such a valuable tool for Tilde here too. Dealing with the gyro,
Great against Rob, yeah.
Dealing with the neutral B lasers. And you see it again. The charge up from the gyro comes through. You got to toss it eventually. And Tilde will just wait happily until they can find their opportunity. That doesn't kill in the end. Atomic trying to make it back to stage. Tilde waiting for the next hit that will more than likely be the closer in game 2.
Tilde can smell the 2-0 lead. It is right there to grab. Simply has to reach out and take it. Atomic on their last legs. 135 last stock in game 2. And there, the bicycle kick.
That'll be it. 2 stock in game 2. Keeping a commanding lead.
And that was like clear dominant.
Yeah, seemingly learning a lot from game 1. We saw the reflector a few times in game 1. Especially, sometimes it seemed like Tilde was just throwing it out in anticipation of something. Maybe while they were like falling back to stage or drop through a platform, toss out the reflector. This time it was, I know you're going to use a projectile. I am making sure it's hitting you back. I think Tilde, like 50-50 in terms of gyros actually hitting them and gyros reflected.
Yeah.
It was a pretty high percentage there, it seemed.
Yeah, the projectile game was just null and void basically that whole game. Tilde was
Tilde
controlled the octagon, so to speak.
Yeah, and with that being shut down, you actually, I mean, Rob does lose a lot when you do get kind of shut out from the projectile game. Yeah, you still have your huge hitboxes on things like the Nair, the long-lasting multi-hits like the up air, but you don't have a way to get in and actually start that. The gyro is such a big part of it sometimes.
Yeah, and Atomic, you got to find a way to not let this game get out of hand early. Even percentage basically to the decimal right now. Atomic, you
actually was.
It was 76.3 to 76.6.
Yeah.
Right on the mark.
Very, very close. Oh, I thought it was going to be like a dunk or something, but the back air is in perfect timing and perfect positioning at the ledge to find that. Once again, we're seeing the kick reflector doing work for the Falco. Oh my, what is,
He has a family.
I don't got nothing else to say.
That man has a family.
That is a grody combo right there.
Yeah, that was quite disgusting. And for Atomic, at some point, when you're just getting juggled in the air like that, looking at the scoreboard, looking at the stocks, you got to think, man, not again, not again, not again.
Can't happen to me again. The drag down, there's the grab, the up air.
He keeps getting away with it.
Is making a statement.
Tilde wants the Civil War Grand Final. He wants the run against Mr. E at a chance for the cash, the top spot, the championship for the singles bracket.
And we almost nearly, like, this is some deja vu from last game as Tilde went up 3 stocks and then it was just a stray side B towards the ledge that Atomic grabbed it with. Now down to 2 stocks for Tilde. And Atomic still such a pain point is this reflector. It just completely nullifies anything that they want to do with the gyro.
Let's see. Tilde doesn't need to do that much more to find the kill and find the series. 87% up on Atomic, and Tilde's been finding these kill shots at will, it seems, the last 2.5 games. Seemingly no signs of stopping, slowing down, or relenting.
Goes the opposite way. Atomic saved for a second. There, punishes that side B. That should be it, maybe?
Yep.
Oh, wants to flex a little bit.
Had to throw the lob.
Decides to go dunk into back air instead of just something like the up smash out of shield.
Got to go off the glass to end it.
Yeah, still a great option. Throw some sauce in at the end. And it looks like the run back is going to be here. Tilde will be your loser's finals side.
Fisher will be winning everything today in Smash.
Yeah, that is very true here.
Actually, I
reset
guess
of
everything